Hello, my name is Ali Sartipse. I'm Assistant Managing Editor with Bloomberg BNA, and we're here today at the FEI conference in Las Vegas. And I'm very pleased today to have Cindy Fornelli, Executive Director for the Center of Audit Quality. Cindy, the CAQ is a member of the AntiFraud Collaboration with Financial Executives International, the Institute of Internal Auditors, and the National Association of Corporate Directors. How did the collaboration come to exist?
Well, you know, the four organizations that you just articulated, FEI, NACD, the IIA, and the CAQ, we represent what we call the supply chain participants who have primary responsibility for deterring and detecting financial reporting fraud. So FEI represents management, the NACD represents the audit committee, the CAQ, the external auditor, and the IIA, the internal auditor. And those four parties, as I said, have primary responsibility for deterring and detecting financial reporting fraud. So really it was a natural collaboration for us to get together with those other organizations whose members are so critical to deterring and detecting financial reporting fraud. The CAQ in 2009 and 2010, we went across the country, and in fact we even went to London to talk to not only participants in the supply chain, but also others who benefit from or have an interest in financial reporting. So in addition to audit committee members, internal auditors, external auditors, and the C-suite, we also talked to investors, educators, financial reporters and press, the whole gamut, if you will, trying to understand what can everybody do to deter and detect financial reporting fraud. So we issued a report in October of 2010, and that's what led us to FEI, the NACD, and the IIA. And so we formed this collaboration, and it's just really been a fantastic effort. The collaboration was formed in 2010, but last year we issued a dedicated website, www.AntiFraudCollaboration.com, where we have a whole host of resources and other items to help people deter and detect financial reporting fraud.
So why the focus on financial reporting fraud?
Well, you know, the thing about financial reporting fraud is while it is relatively rare, in terms of different types of fraud, which obviously is an issue that everybody's concerned about, it has such huge implications. So, you know, the average median asset size of a company that has financial reporting fraud is almost $100 million. And a 2010 COSO study found that with respect to financial reporting fraud, in 89% of the cases, the CEO and or the CEO were involved in SEC enforcement actions, were named in SEC enforcement actions. That's an extremely high number. Now, there is one cautionary caveat to that, in that the SEC does tend to bring the most high-profile cases. So
sure,
they'd rather have a CFO than a mid-level manager, but still 89% is a huge percentage. And so I think it shakes people's confidence in our financial markets if there is a financial reporting fraud. So while it's relatively rare, I think it's very serious, and so we thought it was important to address.
So what are some of the resources and products that are released by the collaboration to advance the efforts to deter this fraud?
So we've got a number of resources, and as I said, they're all on our website, and I'll note that they're free of charge too. So you can either go to the CAQ's website, or you can go to AntiFraudCollaboration.com and find them there. But we began with our report. So our 2010 report is up there, and it has a whole host of resources in the appendix where we give you a bunch of different studies and resources. But more importantly, the collaboration now has come together and produced a number of resources for people. The first of which was an anti-fraud literacy quiz that FEI developed, and you can find that on FEI's website. You read an article, and it helps to educate you about financial reporting fraud. And then you take a quiz, and if you pass a certain number of the questions, you can get CPE credit. And the beauty of the article and the quiz is that if you miss a question, it explains to you what the right answer is and why. So it's very instructive. And you can go back and take the quiz again and to get the CPE credit. Also, NACD, in collaboration with the partners in the AntiFraud Collaboration, developed a series of webinars on skepticism. Because when we wrote our report, we found three key themes in deterring detecting fraud: tone at the top, communication, and skepticism. And by skepticism, I mean bringing that questioning mindset to interactions. And it's important that all of the parties in the supply chain bring that to bear. So the webinars, there's one for how to bring skepticism if you're an external auditor, which of course the standards require, but also if you're the internal auditor, if you're the audit committee, and if you're financial management. And so again, those are free of charge. They've been downloaded going on 10,000 times, so it's pretty impressive, and it's really a nice resource tool for people. And then we also have the CAQ has developed the first of 3 case studies on how to deter and detect financial reporting fraud. And in fact, that's what brings me here to you and the FEI conference. We actually put on a teaching of the case study.
Well, Cindy, thank you very much for a very informative session, and thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, Ali.